Hey everybody, it's Gauntlet with Gauntlet's Race Mod. It has been a while since I've posted a video, and but never fear, I am still alive and working on the mod. Albeit I was slowed down a little bit. I have this thing called a life. It crops up occasionally, so yeah, I had to deal with some other stuff for a little while. But we're back into the swing of things. We're working on Galactic Civ. I am really looking forward to version 1.1. I suspect it will fulfill all of our hopes and dreams. It probably won't, but that's okay. As long as the Steam Workshop gets up and going. But I am suspicious of the fact that there's a beta version of 1.1 that only allows us to upload ship designs and custom races, which, let's be frank, is, I mean, useful, good, yes, got it, but Steam Workshop is going to be for mod deployment. Those aren't really mods. So I'm a little worried that's a little too easy, and if they're testing the waters by testing the easy part, I wonder how the hard part's going to be. So a little concerned about that. But we'll see, and I have faith, and frankly, even if it takes an extra month, then it's an extra month. I'm in it for the long haul. Alright, so the ships today. Today, we're reviewing the Narn from Babylon 5. Yes, can't really call them that for my mod. So, I have made up this new race called the Ronar Confederacy, and they're going to be an homage to the Narn from Babylon 5, of course. The ship designs are really there for that. Maybe I will eventually do just a Babylon 5 mod on top of everything else, because I've now done the Minbari and the Narn. So, we'll see. Maybe I'll just keep adding to it in this mod, so. Alright. But, yeah, the Ronar Confederacy is going to be an interesting race. They are the former military slaves of a different spacefaring race. And that race died off. I'm thinking a plague. So these guys were the slave soldiers who really enforced their empire. It wasn't as bitter a slave-master relationship as the Narn and Centauri. The Ronar enjoyed, you know, sort of top-of-the-line status amongst all the different, you know, minor races that were conquered by this ancient race that is now dead. So they're, in a way, you could compare them to the Drakh, actually, from Babylon 5. Only nicer, much nicer. Honorable guys with, you know, no axe to grind. Their masters are gone. They kind of figured, well, I guess we should use these guns and spaceships and colonies and stuff. We should keep things together. So that's what they did. Alright, so to start with, we have the Tiny. This is the Frazi, the fighter from Babylon 5. Anybody who knows the show, you'll recognize that instantly as a Narn ship. Really happy with how it came out. Really happy with how I got the back wings to the right shape, the right dimensions, and the right curve. Yeah. Overall, not a complicated model to do, so that came out easy. Then we've got the Frazik, a little modified one. It just moves over the pilot's hull to the right, makes room for a communications scanner thingy-majig. So this is what you'll have for a little scout. You know, for a lot of the other races I use drones, but the Narn aren't shy about putting a pilot in a thing and having that thing be ridiculously under-armored and probably blown up by shadow vessels. So, yeah. Okay, moving on to the smalls. Of course, we have a squadron, a wing of the Frazi from before, because you're going to want to see that model over and over again, I think. And then we've got a variant. I got a lot of things from online concept art. Different pieces that people have done online, often for other game mods. So this is the Dag car, and yep, small hull, that's a beam. Here's a missile variant. Then the Talon, or Talon, I suppose. It spells out Talon, but I think in the show the character is called Talon instead of Talon. So yeah, there you go. That's your kinetic small hull. Moving on to the cargoes, nothing really special here, but here's the drone carrier. Holds 2 fighters on top, 2 fighters on bottom, but their ports are empty because the fighters are flying, of course. Then you've got a constructor version, the main civilian version, and the transport, which is just carrying 2 really big rocks, which, let's face it, is going to get dropped on Centauri Prime at some point. I'm going to have a planet, name it Centauri Prime, and then find a way to blow it up. That's just got to happen. Alright, moving on. Let's move on to the mediums. For the mediums, we've got a squadron of dead cars for the missiles. We've got the Tarak for the kinetic. This is an older Narn ship, so it's got an interesting design. A lot of like braces and little add-on bits, basically. It looks very raw to me. It looks like a ship that didn't get all its hull plating thrown on, which is the cool thing about the Narn in Babylon 5. You got the impression that, you know, their ships are alien, but they're not super advanced. They're probably just as advanced as the humans are. They almost certainly don't have artificial gravity on their ships. You always see their command staff wearing like seatbelts and stuff to stay seated. So yeah. Now, a much more advanced ship, post-Shadow War in the show, I would say, and it's just a concept ship from online again, is the Jakar. Because by the end of the show, they're basically worshipping that guy. So, of course, they're going to name a new ship after him. This is the Jakar. This is the advanced destroyer, medium hull, and this is what's going to take the Narn back to their rightful place in the galaxy. You know, it's still got that sort of raw feel to it, but not nearly as much. You know, they bothered to armor up the engines a little bit. Maybe that's a good idea. So, yeah. Really liked how this hull came out. The only thing that worries me is the optical illusion of my brain that tells me that these pylons on the right and left are not going straight. But that's because of their relation to the wing sweep, and they actually are straight. It just, my brain refuses to accept it. Alright, moving on to the larges. Now, the larges, we only have 2. And that's because one of them is the Jaquan, the Narn ship, the iconic ship. So I didn't really feel like I needed to make others. And this one's a showstopper, in my opinion, because it is just, it's pretty near perfection. I spent over 10 hours, I think, working on this ship. My only regrets are that, okay, the middle section here with all that grading and the big, like, domey orb thing is a little bit bigger than it should be. And the long barrels here for these energy cannons are shorter than they should be. And, boo-hoo. I'm not too concerned about it. It took forever to get these sorts of wing pieces going, and to find the right piece for the back end as well. The engine complex came out great, but also really wasn't difficult. So, yeah. Very, very, very happy with how this ship came out. It's honestly, I just love the concept design of this ship. It's beautiful, it's alien, but it looks like something that, hey, maybe, you know, we could manufacture in a near future, so to speak. It doesn't look super advanced like the Minbari or something like that. Okay, then we have the Justen. Justen was Jakar's uncle in the show. He died to a shadow ambush, which is how a lot of Narns die on that show. They're really good at getting killed by shadows, or anybody else. Anywho, Justen died heroically, so to speak, and to honor him after the war, I am thinking that they took Jaquan engine pieces and built up a new carrier. And yeah, I really like this design. This one's one of the few that really I didn't use anything other than just I went and made a ship. No concept art, nothing in the show, but I'm really happy with how it came out. Okay, moving on to the huge hulls. For the huge, you have the Jaquan again as a pair for your balanced. That's nice. Then you've got a squadron of Jakars for your beam huge. Squadron of Turok for your kinetic. And then you have the Bintak, which is your huge missile. And this really is just a really, really big ship. And then finally, you have, I think we're going to call it the Natak, who was this kind of a jerky general guy who got to bombard Centauri Prime. I mean, good for him. I would want to, too. So, yeah. Happy with this ship. It's not as cool as the other carrier, but definitely does the job. And, yeah. So, as the ships, you know, come along, they kind of get a little more advanced. The Jaquan is definitely my favorite, but it's not an original design. My favorite original design here is definitely the Justen. And then from all the concept art and such I found online, the Jakar medium ship was definitely really cool. It was a really nice way of just kind of downsizing the Jaquan, but clearly making it look a little more advanced. So there you go. Now, I will probably add to this set over time. I might actually play through a game as them, which will help me fill out the ranks. But yeah, we've got what we need here to have a ship set. So these guys will definitely be in the mod. The next video will be me actually playing the game, which I haven't done in months. And getting to maybe a good midpoint, do a little video on just showing off what's going on in a galaxy with only Gauntlets race mod races. So I'm really looking forward to that. I have maybe 1 or 2 more races I'll try to fit in, but no promises. Yeah, so 1.1 can't come soon enough, and as soon as it does, I will make sure all the files work, playtest it real quick, and then upload it to the workshop ASAP. If 1.1 comes out and it does not support actual mods, well, in that case, I will probably look into the Nexus site, see if I can put the mod up there, or otherwise I'll just find a file server. But I will be making the mod available no later than the end of July. If 1.1 doesn't serve that cause, then hey, oh well, we're moving forward. And I'll get it on the workshop as soon as the workshop's, you know, truly up and running. All right, thanks for listening, everybody, and yeah, have a good one.